it has. We have to understand that every human endeavor on this planet is connected to a community of all life. Number one, that biology is built on a fractal geometry. And this is very important. It is the geometry of nature. You say, but why is that important? Well, structure in space is determined by geometry, and fractal geometry is the most unique geometry, and it's in your lifetime. Fractal geometry arose, and what does it represent? And it simplifies what mystics have always said for 1,000 years or more: as above, so below. And the significance is that the images in a fractal are self-similar and repeat themselves at any level all the way up. The concept of a human body is actually an image of a cell. There's not a new function in the entire human body that's not already present in most every one of your cells. Respiration, digestion, excretion, mobility, they're miniature people, okay? And when you start to understand the nature of this and you recognize that a human being is actually not a single entity, but a community of 50 trillion amoebas. And this community of amoebas has, over hundreds of millions of years, have understood the nature of economy, efficiency, cooperativity, and every function that we see in our civilization was already created by the community of cells that allowed them to come together to create us. We are a community. Whatever your name is, I am a community of cells. My voice is going to 50 trillion cells right now, and health is when there's harmony, and disease, disharmony. The significance of it is this: then every function in our world has a primary function to any human body or to any cell. Protection and growth are the two functions of a living organism to stay alive. Protection is supposed to only be used momentarily in short period, and growth being the rest of the period. And they're mutually exclusive. Very interesting. It's a switch on and off. You're either in growth or you're in protection. Growth, you're open to take things in. Protection, you're closed to keep things out. It's like, that's two different ways. So the human body is designed for protection and growth. And protection also is the main reason of the support system. Bones, muscles, and all that kind of stuff like that, right? That's support. And so basically, the support system has two roles: one in growth and one in protection. So in protection, the support system is reflected as the adrenal system, fight or flight. It's actually both. The mobility system is controlled by the adrenal system. I go, yeah, what's the control? To make it operate and coordinate for what? Protection or growth, one of these things. It's got to do this, okay? So I say, well, what's the significance? I say, well, if you understand the Department of Defense is like the adrenal system. It's ready to mobilize the forces and put the system into protection. And I say, yes, this is what it's all about. And I say, yeah, but if you focus that that's all it does, then you made a big mistake, because the same system is used very, very importantly on the opposite side. The adrenaline that the soldier uses to face the combat is the same adrenaline the firefighter uses to rush into the building to save the child. What's the point? They're both doing the same thing with different endpoints to it. And why is this relevant? If you talk about the Department of Defense only in terms of protection, then you're missing out that the most important parts really are when, like, the tsunami came and all the armies of the world took their forces, their military gear, their boats, planes, blah, 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 and directed them to what? Humanity, growth. And from the reports in the news and all the media and all that, the soldiers collectively said that was the most valuable, positive expression of being a soldier they ever had, was going in and helping people rather than going in and killing people. So the significance about this is it's not to take money away from the Department of Defense. It's to inform the Department of Defense of the greater service that they perform. And they've done it. So, but the fact is this: if you have a defense department, it's only based on protection, then you can only use that if there's something to protect yourself from, and therefore wars are created, and now we have a reason for protection. Okay? But if the same defense department is helping people all around the world and doing something else, that's a complete different function of what it's all about. And you don't do them both at the same time. So it means what? Well, when you need protection, then your military is there and it's going to serve you in all that protection mode. When you're not in the need for protection, then the same services, same people at the exact same time that have been doing nothing because there was no war, all of a sudden have another full-time job, servicing and helping humanity and supporting those that are in need for whatever need reason it is, whether it's to build a road. And the military used to do this because they used to have to go into Europe and build bridges and roads and crap like that. You know, they had to do that to make the army mobile. And it was like, those were called Seabees. It's like, yeah, but who were they? They were construction people. But they were constructing for a military use, and yet the same exact construction people are the ones that provided for the physical construction of the building. So just to wrap it up, summary. Here's a situation that requires information to the world as well as to the military, of course, is that this is a great service, what they do, but their other full service, which is not recognized, is this service. And that by exercising this service, the same budget, I can use it to go toward this direction or I can use it to go toward that direction. Your job is to reveal to the public the knowledge that this part was missing, to reveal it in such a way it's not threatening to the military. Nobody loses a job. Same equipment, essentially, you know? And all of a sudden you say, yeah, making something useful that has been waiting for war. Change the picture.
That's awesome, Chris. And I think that really brings it back to it's not such a daunting task. It's exactly in the form of nature. And I think that the explanation that the protection of our beingness so resonates with what the army is there to do, protect the civilians, but also having them do the humanitarian action. Like you said, they do a lot of bridge building and that sort of stuff, and they all